Greetings, greetings. Good afternoon. Let's have a fascinating, fascinating introduction. This is a wonderful composer by the name of Mr. Maysky, right? He's playing the cello, and I thought since we get into some mathematics, it's wonderful how we can use the sound of these phenomenal instruments being played by talented individuals. As we've displayed in quite a few videos, one of my last videos, I did the mathematics or the trigonometry mathematics of music and how we can create our music through math. It'd be phenomenal if more our youth and our nation would suppress the whole freestyle rap thing, you know what I mean? Quickness of words, and actually use instruments. And you can use math to rap, you know what I mean? For pitches, you see what I'm saying? Calculate, but too much. Our focus today is calculus, all right? So, what are we talking about? Calculus. Calculus. Specifically, compound interest. Continuous compound interest. All right. Let me write the formula for compound interest. So compound interest is P. Maybe I should do the definitions. So I do define. P stands for principal. N stands for the term. And the term is a date. R stands for the rate, and let's see. Oh, we're doing continuous. Well, I just throw E in there for exponent or exponential rate. So P, principal, times 1 plus R over N, and R N T. All right, T stands for time. T stands for time. Now, the beautiful thing is, right now I'm creating software for financing companies, right? I'm working on a software for a particular financing company. And what is amazing is that there is a product, there's a couple products to help small businesses that they may not know, right? So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and make sure I make a video demonstrating how we can use calculus, right? First we'll create a calculus problem, and then I'll show you how we equate that calculus problem to the software that is readily available. Because again, the beautiful thing about debt is that it can't be taxed, right? And a lot of companies, you know, large companies make quite a bit of money off of debt because they don't get taxed from that debt. So maybe this could be something that you can use. Maybe you don't have a particular, maybe you have a product and you're in a demographic where that product may not, they may not have the funds for a product, right? I'll just use an example. In certain communities, they have payday loans, right? They have financing, small financing retailers that make large profits off the interest rates of a particular population, knowing that that population is very bad with the money themselves. So they tend to end up, you know, going into debt or not paying off that pay in advance. And these companies, most of them don't get taxed off that loan. They actually gain interest, and they sell that that loan, which is a product, to a third party consumer, which is like a what you will call it's a company that will call you up and say, hey, you're late on this bill, and they may not even be the same company that you have the contract with, but they purchase, right, that they purchased that debt from that company, the original company, and now they're going to make a profit off of, you know, convincing you to pay them. And so a lot of that is actually right here in this book, which is called Fair Credit Reporting Act. And it says that FCRA regulates the collection. There you go, collection agencies. There we go, collection agencies. So now, when I got into college and I had to take calculus for my computer science degree, I started learning this information. Yet, as a computer scientist or as a programmer, this was just what I had to learn, and then I had to take this and convert that into computation. Basically, using libraries in a particular programming language to calculate this for the client, which is the user, using the particular software that the company is providing them access for. So nonetheless, and what I'm sharing with you is what we call consumer. So I'll put this right here. Consumer financing, right? And the beautiful thing about that is that this is available for most companies that have, you know, literally have they have a company. You see what I'm saying? Where is that at? Ooh, they have a company business, right? Company business. They have a company business. And so they could just connect the consumer financing software to their business account, so that if customer A wants to buy a laptop, but they can't afford the laptop, so they put in their credit information into this software, into the computer, and then the computer gives them a financing option, and then that computer then goes ahead and creates a payment plan, and that customer then goes ahead and puts in that money into that business, and that business actually makes more because it's profiting off of the interest rate. Okay? Now, some people they're like, man, you know, like, like they come into some type of knowledge and they're getting smart, and they're like, oh man, you know, I just want to make money off of interest. You see what I'm saying? Like I have a bank, I have a business, but I just want to get paid off of interest. And now those people, some people may understand the term promissory note, right? Promissory note. A promissory note is I promise to pay you, right? It's a contract, right? A promissory note is a contract, just like a federal note. And that federal note is what? The dollar, right? The dollar is not money, but it's a note. It's a promise that the entity using it will pay back that debt, right? To the issuer. That's why every note, every dollar has an issuer at the bottom. They issue out that debt, that note, right? And that note is not taxed, right? Nonetheless. So this is the what we call the syntax, or what we call the equation, right? So now, so glad we got that covered. Because this is the Moorish Ministry of Information Technology and Unique Math, which includes math, which includes science, technology, engineering, and math. And right now we're doing math, which is calculus. All right, so nonetheless, now that you know that if you have a company, that you can also profit and engage and be included in this prosperous endeavor, such as consumer financing. All right, and at the end of this video, I'll give you some options that you can choose as well. All right, so here we go. So here's a example, right? Example A. Example A. All right. So example A will be, let's say, and again, I'm going to slash this right here, because this right here is not continuous compound interest. This is general. This is compound interest. Continual compound interest is PERT. All right? P times the exponential value power of rate times time. Okay? That is a different formula for this, so I don't want to get that confused. But I wanted to write continuous compound interest because I just didn't want to forget to go over this. So I just put it here with the slash so I can remember, oh, let me go back into this. So don't think that this is this. This is this part, okay? All right, here we go. Now, again, the best options right now to make money is online. You want to have, this is all you want to have. You see what I'm saying? This is all you want to have, all right, is what can fit in here and make as much money as what you can fit in here and make a minimum of 10,000 a month with just this, all right? Whatever you can fit in here. Most likely you want this back, you want this to be easy. You want the only thing heavy is the data that's inside of this, right? And fortunately, data does not weigh anything, all right? So, that being said, what's in here? All right, nonetheless, so let's say you do got that, right? Now, you have to have a product in order to use compound interest. You see what I'm saying? Again, the beautiful thing about this is that no matter if this customer has poor credit, right? No matter if, all right, this is it. So here's example A. Let's say example A is a temple, right? Temple or church, right? Let me just say temple, right? You'll understand the same thing. So temple A has well over $10,000, right? Temple A has $10,000 saved, right? All right. Now, Temple A has let's say 10 eligible clients. 20 members, right? Temple A has 10 members, right? It has a savings of $10,000. It has 10 eligible clients and 20 members that attend Temple A, right? Now, Temple A has convinced 10 out of 20 members to take out a loan from Temple A, right? So, let's say the first one, right? The first client says, you know what? And again, what package are they purchasing? This is very important. What package are they purchasing in order to get financed through this software so we can calculate the interest rate, right? So let's say the first one says, oh, I need $1,000 to start this endeavor. So, okay, cool. We sell you the product $1,000. So here's $1,000. We get to one of the eligible members. So right, $10,000. Cool. So now $1,000 out of that $10,000, that $1,000 that customer is given. So it says 1,000 is the principal. All right. And so there we go. We're going to do $1,000 times 1 plus. Now, depending, okay. Now, in some creeds, religions, for instance, is not right to, they don't practice usury. And usury is when you add interest to someone of the same belief system or same, religion as you. So this might not work for you, right? But this again, it may not work for you. But some people may not operate like that, okay? Again, it's a great way to start, to add revenue, to that particular institution. You know what I mean? Because, again, you can't get taxed off that. So, come on. I'll give you a different example next. But this is to help people, get their minds right. So, you do 1,000 times 1 plus the interest rate. Now, we're going to add interest rate. Okay? Now, we may do 2.5%, right? So, let's see. So, the interest rate may be 2.5%, right? So, but what is that converted to in decimals? Well, let's see. 2.5% is 0.025, all right? And that is over N, right? Now, how long is it going to take this person, right, to be able to pay back this $1,000, right? And again, maybe I use an example as, someone wants to do a record label company and give an advance, right? But first we're going to do this from here. We're going to go from religious to certain different scenarios. So nonetheless, we'll say, again, there are a few different methods, all right? So we could do annual, we can do semi-annual, we could do monthly, we could do daily, right? We could do either one. So let's just say in 6 months, right? In 6 months, that person is going to pay back the $1,000. All right, 6 months. So we do times 2, and we raise it to the second power, and then we do times t. All right. Cool. So now we bring out the calculator, right? Because every temple got a bookkeeper or whatsoever, right? So nonetheless, all right, cool. So we do 1,000 times 1 plus 0.025 divided by 2 times 2 equals. Put it into y'all calculators. Let me know what y'all got. But again, it comes out to $1,025.16. Now, in 6 months, this institution, with again one of the members, right? This institution made $25.16. Was a profit. Let's put an arrow up. Profited $25.16. Now let's just say subject networking. Alright. Let's just say they wanted to pay monthly, right? He wanted to pay monthly. Alright, so you say, okay, you want to pay monthly. Let's change it to 1 second. 1, 2. So this was semi-annually. Okay. So in 2 months, that's that. But in 6 months, times 2 to the 6th power. Times 6. Let's just do 365. They wanted to pay in 365 days. So again, T is 260. Okay. So let's do 1,000. It shouldn't take a whole 365 days to pay back no $1,000. You see what I'm saying? It don't take that long. But it's not to say it ain't happened. It's not to say it ain't happened. It's around the same though. It's around the same. Okay, cool. Alright. Bam. Alright. 2 and 2. Alright, awesome. So the church made $25.16 in 6 months. Alright. Wait a minute. 6. 1,000 times 1 plus 0.025. Raise that to 6 power. Okay. In 6, that was in 2 months, but in 6 months, it is 1,159.69. So in 6 months, that should be semi-annual is 6 months. All right, 1,1. So it profited $159.69. All right. So imagine if 10 of your members had asked for $1,000, right? Then and paid it back to you in 6 months. Ooh, wait a minute. 1159.69 times 6. Right? Yeah. Wait, 1. Bam. Times 10. Let's take this off. Delete. Perfect. So, times 10 members, and you got 1596.9. The church at the temple made $1,596.90 in 6 months by giving $1,000 to 10 eligible members, and it gave that 1,000, right? Again, let's say one of the members stops paying. With the financing software, right? It's already connecting to their social security number, social security account, SSA, right? So, nonetheless, if one of the if one of the officers in the temple, I would suggest, has a consumer or has a what's this word again, man? Credit. No, it's the credit, but let's get this. Let's pay these. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. Collection. There you go. Perfect. As a collection agency, then bam, they can go ahead and you can sell it to them, and then they can go after that. But nonetheless, this was the math. So if you take calculus, then you'll learn about compound interest and how to, the software does it for you, right? The software does it for you. Some software is done in Python. Some software is done in C. C++ is another that's another program language. And some software is financing software. A lot of financing software is done in Python though. But again, some is done in C and some is done in Java, not JavaScript but Java. But the algorithms that I've learned and that I've done mostly were in Python, in like Bank of America, not Bank of America, but like Chase and Union Bank. Chase, Union Bank, and U.S. Bank, they mostly use Python to write their financing software, okay? So, nonetheless, that was a prime example of how, again, you can use this financing software to sell a product. What is the product? Promissory note. You see what I'm saying? A membership. It can label it as a membership, right? You can label it as a advance. You see what I'm saying? Name the product however you want. It's just that once you connect the consumer financing software to your business bank account, then every time they make their payment, that payment is going towards your account. You see what I'm saying? And you can't get taxed off of debt, number one. So it goes to your account, and then you profit off the interest rate, right? And this is this is very beautiful right here. I'm really happy that I actually even had learned this in my this actually is not taught in trigonometry, but yeah, this is taught in pre-cal. So yeah, so this is a wonderful rule that a lot of financiers are introduced to, business calculus as well. So that being said, it's a great idea, because again, some people, they might not have like a front store, a retail store, right? I have a friend who I purchased my laptop from, and he has his own computer store, and he actually graduated from San Jose State as a computer in computer science, and we had a great conversation because he uses this method and this product, which is the consumer financing software, to for his customers. So if they can't afford a laptop or some of his products in his store, then they go ahead and put their information into the software, and then they go ahead and pay a plan, so to with interest added on, until they pay back the product that they purchased. You see what I'm saying? So it's really cool that way. So some people who may not have a storefront, they're like, man, well, I may not have this, the storefront, but I have this. You see what I'm saying? And I have this product, right? Maybe I sell this service, or maybe I sell this product, but a customer, they can't afford this, right? Well, bam, now they can afford it, right? Now they can afford it, and not only can you make money off of, if you sold a product for, again, here it is, if you sold a product for $200, right? If you sold a product for $200, right? And maybe that product is, I'll go ahead and I'll do this for you, right? But you can't pay, you don't have that money up front. Well, I'll get you on a payment plan. Just give me put your information in here, and then not only do you get paid for the $200 for that service, you get an extra amount that you get paid for, right? That's the beautiful thing. That's why this is so powerful. This is why, large institutions, financing institutions use this, but you don't really see, Joe Schmoes. Check this out. Check this out. Check out this cell right here. Imagine this. Imagine you are a vendor, right? And most vendors, they're working their way to become like to get into a retail business, or, to get into a brick and mortar. There we go, right? So they're starting at a certain level, right? Imagine a vendor saying, man, now I can sell this product, and, I get an average amount of people coming here to buy this, right? But what if my actual sell was pay later, right? Now the customer is not really knowing what you're thinking, right? The customer is not really, seeing. They're thinking they're getting the advantage for paying you later, right? But no, 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 no. They just don't know the math behind this. You see what I'm saying? So if you selling, what holiday is coming up? Christmas is coming up, right? So you selling Christmas trees, right? Example, right? You selling Christmas trees, and you're saying, pay us later. Pay us later. You see what I'm saying? They pay later, right? So the Christmas tree is worth $70, right? So it's like, all right, the Christmas tree is worth $70, right? But you go ahead and you use compound interest, right? You use compound interest. I know most people don't sell Christmas trees. People who sell Christmas trees are the people that actually own the land. And I actually been over there in Boulders Creek, Bear Creek, right, south of San Jose. I know a guy. Well, his family, they own a plot of land and they grow the trees there, and then they take the trees and they sell them in like San Jose and Los Gatos and Saratoga. But they own the land, right? And once they own the land, they grow as many trees as possible on the land. And again, you only get taxed on the land like once a year, right? So you're making so much more, right? You built the house on the land, but you don't have to pay mortgage because you own the land. And you grow as many trees, and at least a quarter of that profit pays the property tax for that year, and maybe for a few years, or even for that year, and it pays for your lights, everything else. You see what I'm saying? A quarter. That means the third is all profit, and that's a lot of money. But I want to focus on the regular Joe Smo. You know what I mean? The Joe Smo that's probably selling food. Imagine you sold food, right? You sold some food. Now, okay. One thing some people may say is, all right, now, what if, some people may say, I just don't like the credit thing because, what if they say, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. The reason why is because with this software, or what I'm about to show you, you have all your proof. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even want to go there. So let's talk about the Joe Smo. Let's say that you sold jewelry, right? You sold jewelry, right? And your jewelry was like $50, right? So you're like, pay later. Pay later. Dang. Pay later. I just say pay later, man. I'm giving people some ideas now. You know what I mean? Pay later, right? So, all right, cool. So now you're like, all right, pay later. Oh, I like those earrings. Oh, cool. It's $50, but you don't have to pay now. You could pay later. What do you mean I could pay later? Well, I could finance them to you, to where you could pay for them, next month. You can start paying for them. You could pay for them in payments. Oh, really? Yeah. You don't have to pay for the whole thing right now. You can actually pay in payments. So, allow you to, if you're budgeting, however you want to sell it to them, you know what I mean? You say, hey, $50, but you don't have to pay the whole $50. You can pay the $50 later. You can just pay in payments. You see what I'm saying? So that's for someone who's like a vendor for jewelry, or you got someone who's a vendor for, you got jewelry, you got clothing, you know what I mean? Pay for it later. Pay later clothing. you know, pay later jewelry, pay later this, and so pay later, you know, crystals. You see what I'm saying? Pay later crystals. You see? Because people out there selling crystals and so forth. So you do the math out. You say, okay, cool. Just so many. All right. There's another idea. Let's say you provided a service, right? Let's say you provided a service, massage therapy, or you did some type of legal work, right? Consultation, pay later consultation, right? Then you go ahead and say, oh, this consultation was like, you know, $100, right? But you could pay it in payments. Oh, really? Yeah. Imagine someone comes every month for a consultation, but they're paying in payments, right? So they're like, the way, if you do it creatively, they're paying, you know, they're paying a little bit more because they're getting behind. You know what I mean? Because they're not thinking about last month. They're like, oh man, shoot, I still got time to pay last month, right? It's how you organize it, man. The cleverness of math, man. That's why math rules. So you have a service consultation, $100 consultation, pay later. All right, pay later. $100 is the principal, and you pay the principal 100 times 1 plus, you do an interest rate of 25%. And I believe with the financing software, you can adjust the financing rate too. You see what I'm saying? But it's always good to know the math. You want to know the math before you get into the, you know, the software. You want to know what you're doing. It's all about knowing what you're doing, man. And you say 12 months, right? But honestly, we ain't gonna wait no 12 months for no payment. So nonetheless, we're gonna do 6 months. Yeah, pay that in 6 months, right? So you got 6 times 6, 6 to the 6th power. So 100 times 1 plus 0.25%. Now again, 25% is a lot. Don't let the numbers fool you. All right, 25% is a lot, actually. So, but divided by 6 to the power of 6, $127. You just profited $27. You see what I'm saying? Just profited $27, right? Now, if you broke that up, maybe you have like 6 months of consultations, right? $600, right? You can just put it all together. You see what I'm saying? And you do $600 times 1. That's the important thing to do. You know, don't do pay $100 this month and pay $100 and just do it per like that. That's too much work. Just say, hey, I can give you 6 months of consultations, right? Which is $100, right? But you don't have to pay it up front. You can pay it in payments. That's more realistic because at least you have 6 months of profit. You have someone 6 months that has 6 months of your service, right? And so let's do that math. 600 times 1 plus 0.25. People don't read contracts. This is tedious. You see what I'm saying? People don't read terms. They don't do none of that. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's keeping certain people rich. You feel what I'm saying? This is giving people leverage to the population. Because the population has at least, 42 seconds of attention span. After 42 seconds, you're like, I gotta think of something. Oh, got no idea. Ooh. You know what I mean? So it's like they're not focused. You see what I'm saying? Or they're not really paying attention. So, to the 6th power. Bam. So, $100 for 6 months is $600 total. and it's to the sixth power of that. So that's a total of $766.52. All right. So that person is convinced that, man, I got time. Cool. You know what I mean? Actually, let's go ahead and put let's go ahead and do this. Yeah. We're right. Yeah. Cool. So yeah. So $766.52 minus 600 is $100.66. I mean, $166.52. So at the end of 6 months, they ain't gotta pay you. Say, yo, just wait until 6 months, right? They're not putting the money away per se. Maybe they are. Who knows? But they made a contract. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, you're reporting what they pay you to possibly, depending on the software, you're reporting them to the credit bureaus as well. So it may affect their credit. So of course they got it. You know what I mean? Again, you can help some people out. However you deal with it is how you can help a company out. So maybe somebody, there's software that instead of putting your social security number, right, SSN, you can put your EIN, right? Now with this, you're reporting their EIN, right, to the credit bureaus. So someone can actually boost up. You're giving a product to help a business boost up their credit by taking on your payment plan. You see what I'm saying? Or a consumer, regular Joe Smo, you're helping them boost their credit up, right? By giving them a payment plan. This is good for children. Man, it's good for quite a bit of people. But nonetheless, the person cannot afford your consultation. The person cannot afford your product. So what you do is you say, you know what? Pay later, right? And again, most people don't get this opportunity because you have people that probably didn't finish college, was too afraid or convinced that they couldn't do calculus and get into this business mathematics, right? And they working, full time, 9 to 5, and they're like, man, I'm tired of this 9 to 5. I want to have a business. So they get into business, but they didn't go to get the education. They didn't go to school. They didn't go back to school and say, or they didn't say, man, I actually need to go back to school or take some part-time classes while I have this business so I can understand the math. You see what I'm saying? So that I don't go into debt. So there's some people that's taking their regular 9 to 5 and investing all that into a business. And when you invest the money you make for your 9 to 5 into a business, more than likely you're going into debt. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. So with the consumer financing software, it's very important, it's very helpful, because a lot of people right now, they may not be able to afford your services or your product, but you can make even more because all they have to do is provide their social security number or the EIN in order to apply for the consumer financing product, so that if you have a service for $600, you can tell them, hey, don't even worry right now. You don't even have to pay right now. You can pay in 6 months. So therefore, in your head, you're thinking, damn, I'm about to make hella money. Why? Because that person, the principal is $600, right? Or the principal is, $600 for your service or for a product. And you're multiplying that according to compound interest equation by 1. And you're adding that to the interest rate, right? Sometimes you'll set your own interest rate in the software, right? And then you're dividing that by what you call N, and the N is the initial term, and you're powering that, right, by the same term, which is, again, 6. So, hey, $600, don't even pay right now, paying in 6 months, right? And they're like relieved because they're like, okay, cool. I can get this amount of money and pay him back or her back in 6 months. So they are happy because of the time, right? They're focused on the time, right? But they're not understanding that, oh wow, yeah, I get time, but again, I gotta pay this person an extra $166.52. But they don't see that because they're not doing the math. Majority of the time, people aren't doing the math. You see what I'm saying? Because the math, again, is tedious for most of the population. They don't like math. You know what I mean? They just don't. So, nonetheless, again, if you're a vendor and if you are just starting your business, right? You already have your business account, right? You use your EIN to open up a business account, right? Then you go ahead and attach. There's a plus sign, right? You attach the software, the consumer CFS, right? You attach the CFS, the consumer financing software. You link that to your business account so that you can take the interest that you gain along with the service itself at the end of these terms, right? Because you want to sell, you want the customer to think and to feel that you care, right? So you're really pushing off of energy, right? And energy, which is commercially termed as utility, right? Energy is utility, right? And the utility is a circular thing. It's a rotation, right? And that's what keeps them coming. They can say, oh man, I have a good, and they can leave you, hey, leave me a good review. You know what I mean? Just, hey, check this out. You know what? Pay me later. All right? Just here, I can help you out. I have software that I use for customers that can't pay right now, right? And we're going to make sure that you can benefit from this. You need it now, so I'll make sure you get it now. But we're going to make a payment plan for you, okay? So you can just pay in 6 months, all right? Because I know you need this, and cool, right? And they're in the moment, right? It's an emotional thing. So they're like, all right, cool, bam. So then they go ahead, put their social security number, or again, it might be a situation where you're talking to a business, right? And they need assistance. So they go ahead, again, an EIN and a social security number is the exact same thing. It's both 9-digit numbers, right? They're 9-digit numbers, and it's an account, all right? It's an account. So nonetheless, but let's focus on the non-business right now, on just the regular consumer. They have a situation, they need help, bam, you give them that assistance. Now you're profiting in 6 months or to a year, or in some form of months. And so you link that consumer financing software to your business account. So then when they make those payments, it goes to your account. Now it's an important thing because you want to be able to separate the interest gain from the actual principal, right? Principal. Hold on 1 second. You want to principal interest, right? And it's a very important thing too. Most people in the United States don't really see how the educational system is set up, okay? It's a business, but people don't see that, right? Principal is a term used for a position at a school. You see what I'm saying? Right? Again, principal in finance is the money is the amount that's being invested, or the you know the the amount. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I got $500 and I want this to it's my investment. I want and yeah. So, all right, I don't want to get too deep there. But yeah, you want to separate the principal from the interest rate once it hits your bank account. Okay. So now, what you want to do is put the interest. Again, the principal is going to be taxed. It's going to be taxed. The interest is not taxed. You see what I'm saying? You can't tax debt, right? You can't tax debt at the end of the day. But how well you know tax law is very important too. So you want to study some tax law. Nonetheless, you take the interest, all right? Percent for the interest, $ sign for the principal. You see what I'm saying? And so you put the interest into a savings. You see what I'm saying? Into a savings, right? And then you put the principal, you take the principal and then you put it into your credit. You see what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and put this over. Hold on one second. Credit. And then you got the savings account. Credit account, savings account. So I hope that was clear. All right. With the financing software, anyone who has a business can, if they have customers that can afford their product or their services, you can leverage the software to gain the customer long term. You see what I'm saying? And you can gain an emotional relationship, an emotional bondage with the client. Because especially the type of clients that you have that don't really have a lot of money, but they for sure got a social security number. You see what I'm saying? And they can apply for the software that you use so that you can not only profit off of the services that you use, but that particular product or service that you provide can also be boosted in sales, because you're not only have that initial price or that initial principal, you also have a gain in interest that you gain for that type of service. For some companies, especially tech companies, they have people that handle this are called product managers. But at this type of level, it's like a senior product manager. You see what I'm saying? They have a software program, and they use that program to sell to a particular consumer, or to a consumer. But nonetheless, this is what I had learned, and this is what I had been using, and it's it's amazing. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you have information, and again, information is also a product, right? Information is a product. People pay for information, right? Now, information is a product, and you're adding a dollar amount to that information, right? And that dollar amount can be taxed if they purchase that product up front. Now, if they didn't purchase the product up front, right, you technically loaned the product, or you technically loaned out the service. You see what I'm saying? And how do you differentiate that? Well, if you loan something out, there's an interest rate gained to it. If you just sell something, you can't add interest to what you just sell. And here's a bottle of water. Give me $1 for the bottle of water. Cool, $1. Bam. That's tax. You see what I'm saying? There's no interest you gain on that financially. But, hey, I got a bottle of water. I'll loan it to me. You can pay me in payments. And payments, whew, good. I sure didn't have that dollar for that bottle of water. Cool, all right. Well, go ahead. You got a quarter? Yeah, I got a quarter. All right. Well, I'll give you a week to pay me back the water. All right? I'll take a quarter. But hold on one second. I need your information. You see what I'm saying? So I can use as proof that we had arranged these terms or these conditions. All right? Oh, okay, cool. Right? Bam. So the business there's no relationship if the person is not going to provide the information, then you saved yourself, a lot.